August 1979, a lion queen was born to my mommy and daddy, Andrew and Hazel Whitfield. Later came siblings, Andrea and my brother, Man. I think as a baby, I think I was a good baby. But growing up, I was creative, very different, I thought. I love wigs, love makeup, just creative, just wanted to be me. Who is Nyke Latrice? Motivational speaker, makeup artist, skincare specialist, international educator. She's an advocate of women and children's rights. She helps you as a woman try to figure out this thing called life through encouraging her, discovering her self-love, discovering her power. The story of Nyke Latrice. I was trying to find my way. And Punky Brewster, if anybody remember the 80s, was one of my favorite characters. She was a real life little girl. She grew up in the Bronx and she was free. She wanted to wear what she wanted to wear. She wanted to be who she wanted to be. And I think I was a lot like that. I remember growing up, my dad was like, your mouth is going to get you in trouble. But how are you going to say that I'm wrong? Don't I have freedom of speech? I was one of those girls. Going into high school, coming out of the tomboyish stage, I know I was a tomboy. I even liked football. I went out for the football team, and my dad was like, no can do. And I remember the coach was like, oh, you can't really play football. You a girly girl. My mom would put me in dresses, and up under every dress, I would have shorts. It's like it was just too free or something. I don't know. High school, I think I was prissy, coming more into HeR, coming more into who is Narkita at that point. Yeah, Narkita is my real name. Cheerleader. It was interesting. I was actually scared to go to high school. So many people, school being larger than large, coming from elementary and middle school. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm scared. What is this about? But I grew into Nyke Latrice. And I was actually one of the most popular girls at Whites Creek High School. Vice president of my class. And I think I evolved. I was finding out who she was. Class of 98, Whites Creek Comprehensive High School. Those were the good old days, but memories. Not so good memories and good memories. Trying to find my way. And my dad was really strict on me. I had to do it his way. Of course, parents, whatever, you got to do it their way, but I wanted to do it my way. So I remember he would always say, if you think you've grown, you can get out. Well, needless to say, my senior year in high school, I left. Tried to find a job. Worked at, what was it called? What's the little bus company called? Greyhound. $7, $8 an hour. That wasn't enough for me. So I was introduced to private fantasy on Dickinson Road. Yeah, I was a private dancer. Wasn't your ordinary stripper. Private fantasy was more classy. The classy, upscale Caucasian girls, mixed girls. And there were 2 black girls, Diamond and Caramel. I was Caramel. Blonde hair, blue eyes. I gave the guys their fantasies. We danced, We got paid off of different songs, 5 minute, 6 minute songs, dance, and that was it. I was the baby of the crew, so they wouldn't let me do too much. I wanted to experiment with the smoking, and I remember I used to smoke cloves until they told me it had fiberglass or something in it. But that was what I had to do when my daddy said I needed to, find my own way. At that time, I was in a relationship and I was taking care of the both of us, and I ended up pregnant at 20. I had my first baby at 21, my amazing son, TJ Carter. With that, I grew, and I knew that it has to be a better way. So I actually went back to school to become an LPN. Didn't pass the test. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not smart enough. What else can I do with this baby now? What can I do? So I went back to school to be a medical assistant. I graduated from being a medical assistant, and also I went back to school again to get a degree in criminal justice. My son wasn't even 1 year old yet. I got a job offer at DeBerry Special Needs. I worked in a prison for men, max unit. I remember like it was yesterday, 7C. All of the inmates were locked up for 23 hours a day, get out for an hour. I worked third shift. I used to sleep a lot, but they slept too. I was still protecting the public. But what an experience. I was there for 5 years. And unfortunately, I had to leave. I wasn't a ugly looking girl, so I guess I was their fantasy in jail. So I had inmates writing me letters and sending them to my home. And that's when my mom was like, it's time to go because that's dangerous. So I began to really get into the medical field, medical assisting, CNT. And again, I was pregnant at 23, 24 with my second baby, Jamaria Chanel Bush, my baby. A single mother now of two. What a surprise. Elijah. Elijah was my sister's baby that I took in when he was little. So now, single mom of 3, trying to figure it out. Got into the makeup business as an entrepreneur. I said, I'm tired of working for people. I want to work for myself. So I dibbled and dabbled in beauty control, Mary Kay. And I said, you know what? I can do the same thing they're doing. So, Exclusive Makeup Studio was my first business, right in the heart of Jefferson Street. So I began to hustle and grind. I lived in Vine Hill. Vine Hill was beautiful. It was perfect after they tore down the projects, because that's what Vine Hill was. But it was home for me and my kids. So Exclusive Makeup Studio was one of my babies. I started my makeup career there as an esthetician and a makeup artist, showing women of color how to take care of their skin, how to apply their makeup. Getting a taste of entrepreneurship was amazing. So I continued to build, continued to hustle, continued to grind. Started with the Country Music Awards, Stella Awards, where I met some amazing people in the industry. But that wasn't for me. I'm more of a people person, educator. I give back. For me, when I was in Vine Hill, my story and my legacy that I wanted to leave behind was coming out of poverty, coming out of being that single mom that was on food stamps, public assistance. And I said, once I make it out of here, I'm going to go back and I'm going to reach back. because the most hurtful thing in the world is you living in the low income housing and they treat you like you just needy. You're needy. You need everything. And I didn't want to be labeled as such. So I said, you know, I'm going to use Vine Hill. I'm going to use the public assistance. I'm going to use the food stamps to build, to get me out of Vine Hill. And that's what I did. I was actually engaged in Vine Hill to be married. And one thing I said was, being here, no man will ever live with me. If you want me, you're going to get me out of Vine Hill. We're going to get a house. And that's what we did. So I was married for what, seven years, I think. 7 years we were married and divorced. And between all of that, I was still hustling and grinding, doing my thing in the music industry, movies, videos, that makeup artist, that makeup specialist of the stars, as they call me, Nyke. It was a journey. It was a journey coming from being a single mom to being married, trying to give your children, trying to give your family an opportunity to see something different and not just being a single mom. Unfortunately, we were divorced in, I think it was 2016, and I had to find my way. Right before I was divorced, we both opened up a business together called Manhattan's, and also the Powder Room. The Powder Room was my baby. I helped him get to where he needed to be, I thought. But behind closed doors, the business was like taken away from me. So I had to let everything go. The hardest thing is losing your dream, everything you worked so hard for. But God knew that I need to evolve and do something different.
Between our hearts, come tug on the heartstrings, come tie those lonely ends around the stone. Between our hearts, come meet me in the middle, come meet me right here. Can I be honest? Can I tell the truth? When your eyes lock with mine, I wanna move. I want to break all the rules. I want to stay right here with you. Come tug on the heartstrings, come tie those lonely ends around the stone. Between our hearts, come tug on the heartstrings, come tie those lonely ends around.
After my divorce, it was a dark period for me. This is when I start writing different quotes of what I have been through in my life. I'm only sharing some of my story. You have to read the rest. But I started writing. Didn't know what I wanted to call the book yet, but I knew that my life had been a journey, from betrayal, from family here, gone, from having to help family members and putting them first instead of myself. But it was, I think it was 3 long years I had to face her. Yeah, Nyke Latrice, I had to face her. Facing her was the hardest thing that I had to do. And when I reference her, I mean inside of me, digging deep to find out who her really is. After that, it was traumatizing. Didn't know how to sort out my feelings. Thought I was in love, or did I really know what love was? The relationship was rocky, and like I said, I didn't know how to figure out this thing called life at this point. Like I said, the divorce, lost the house, lost the business. At that point, it was just me and the kids again. Me back being a single mom, trying to figure this thing out. So what do? Nyke went under for about 3 years to find and discover her self-love, her strength. I think that's what God told me, that quit asking for so much strength. You're asking for something that's already in you. And I had to begin to build myself up as a woman. How do we do this and still be the head of that house, still be the sole provider, still be that mother and that father? How do I do this? I need to work on myself. God said, I got you. Just follow my footsteps. So I think it was 2017, I started to really write in quotes from my past, seeing my children grow up, seeing my son go off to college to play football, University of Memphis. Growing up, that's all he wanted to do was play football. So he found his dream in Memphis. My daughter, watching her grow and dance with elite stars of Nashville, she loves dancing. So I made sure that at this point in my life, I focused on my kids and me. So as I continue to write, I continue to be this amazing makeup artist here in Nashville. I was granted an opportunity to teach. So I went to teach at Paul Mitchell, and I loved it. I was their makeup and spa specialist, regional, different cities, Knoxville, Louisville, etc. I was getting back what I lost, getting back to me. Then I realized, wow, I'm more than just a makeup artist. I'm more than just an esthetician. I'm an educator. I give back. So I decided, again, here go this entrepreneurship, to open up my own learning facility or learning program, Makeup Beauty and Beyond. And Makeup Beauty and Beyond is a program that helps different after-school programs and summer camps dealing with girls and now boys to figure out who they really are, motivation, their strength, their courage, having that second mom, if you will, having that second father, if you will, mentors coming in. And my heart really goes to the middle school and high school girls, because there's a need for mentorship there. So that's what I started doing, just giving back to the community as a philanthropist, if you will. I also do a lot of community outreach, and exclusive outreach was the name I called it years ago. But now it doesn't need a name because it grew beyond what the name was. But back to school events where I gave away backpacks to thousands of kids in the Nashville community for the past 10 years. My favorite is Dinner with Santa. I adopted the Parkwood Community Center, and every year for the past, I think for the past 6 years, we have provided dinner and toys for the kids in Parkwood. What a joy. Like I said, I love giving back and just seeing the smiles on those babies' faces and the moms just saying, just thank you. You know, we didn't know what we were gonna do this Christmas for the kids. And just know that a lot of this stuff that I do is financed by God, because I had no clue, because my bank account said 0, but my heart said millions. And I think that's why God continues to push me into these doors that I'm scared to go through, because he saw something bigger in me. And I'm starting to face and see her. Who is Nyke Latrice? She's kind. She has a big heart. Integrity. My biggest thing is loyalty. I think I wear loyalty on my sleeve. And sometimes I think loyalty is my downfall. And I think people take advantage of my loyalty. Or Nyke just doesn't understand that people do not think the way you think. They don't feel the way you feel. So you can't hold them accountable for them not treating you the way that you treat them. They're totally different people. But it's okay. I'm going to continue to give back. I'm going to continue to be the best person I can be. And that's when I came up with 366 makeup tips of a woman. A devotional that's going to help women such as yourself evolve and find her and face her. And when you face her, it's going to be a beautiful thing. A beautiful thing. We, as everyday women, we tend to want to look at the aesthetics of ourselves, the outside of ourselves. Oh, my lashes, oh, my lips, my eyebrows on fleek. 366 is going to be more about you looking into your own soul, looking to your own eyes. Go in that mirror, strip down, pull your weave back, take your lashes off, and really face her. I think I was maybe 39, 38 when I faced her for the first time in my life. And when you do that, you look past you. You are finding faith. You're finding freedom. You're finding, for me, was forgiveness. I went a long time not forgiving my dad for leaving us in high school. Not forgiving the abusive relationships that I was in. And I remember Christmas, I think it was 2017, 18, was the first time that I was able to see my entire family come together. And when I say entire, meaning my dad and my mom, all the grandkids, all the nieces, nephews, everybody for the very first time in over 20 years. Wow. What a feeling. And I hosted the Christmas party in my home. That was an eye-opener for me, that Nyke, it's not about you. God said it's about forgiving. Even though you were hurt in the past, it doesn't matter. Your heart is still big. You're still a good person. I struggled with that. Being a good person, because I was taken advantage of in the industry, giving people a lot of opportunities, but I couldn't or didn't see the reciprocation. I didn't see that coming back to me, and always wondering why my blessing wasn't bigger than hers. Because Nyke, what's for you is for you, and God has it only for you. I had to realize that. Life is good, and life can be difficult. And I learned that it's not just the life after life's chances and obstacles. It's the decisions that we make. So I'm learning to make better decisions.
I want you to feel safe with me, safe with me. I to feel safe with me. Oh, who did you? Who hurt you? Who broke you? Come on, expose me. Oh, 'cause I only wanna love you. Let my heart take over. Yeah, boy, stop living in the past. We gotta try if we want this love to last. Oh, 'cause I only wanna love you, baby. I want you to feel safe with me. Safe.
I was presented with another opportunity to teach, to become an international educator, where I was teaching foreign students that barely knew how to speak English the world of aesthetics and makeup. So I had that opportunity. I worked at a school for maybe a year and a half, 2 years. The cosmetology school scene, for me, it's not what it is. We don't have enough, I think, people in the industry who really care about the students, or enough experience teaching a certain subject. So again, Nyke's brain is going and going and going. I said, what can I do to make this industry of aesthetics and makeup better, different? So of course, Makeup Beauty Beyond was one of my babies, and I decided to really reach beyond just the cosmetology schools. I wanted my own. So that's when I started doing the after school programs and the summer camp. The Junior Beauty Boot Camp was my baby. It started at Knowledge Academy with high school girls that wanted to learn the world of makeup. So it was a whole 2 weeks of beauty and fashion, different entrepreneurs that came to speak to the girls, hands-on, hair, makeup, braiding, you name it. I was then, we talked about closing down the powder room years ago, and I had another opportunity to open my powder room back up. So I did. 1801 Jefferson Street. That's where I was for 3 years. It started out being a hair boutique. I had a little beauty room inside of this hair boutique, and because I was still teaching at the cosmetology school. But then I decided to go back full time, come back into the community, teaching HeR, the aesthetics from within and out. So the powder room was a makeup and skincare studio. It was a haven for estheticians and makeup artists that wanted to get back into the community and know the business. So that's what I did. Not only was I able to help other women, makeup artists, estheticians, but I was able to help my daughter become an entrepreneur. The Chanel collection is something that she started with her own cute little boutique of clothes and inspiring pieces. And it was an honor, to know and see that my daughter had been looking at me through the shadows this entire time. I never pushed makeup and skin on her. I wanted her to be her, be herself. But she came around, started learning little tricks and trays of makeup and skin, and it's rather cute. Got into a relationship. Very happy where I am. It's been ups and downs with the relationship. As to every relationship, you're gonna have its ups and downs, but this one was different. Um, this one was different because of the situation of him losing his ex-fiance, her losing her mom. So I had to come in under a different role at this point. Oh my gosh, how does this work? How do I help? And all I hear and heard was, you're on assignment. You have to show him that I have to get the glory, but you have to show him love. You have to show her love. So how do you really do that when you're still trying to figure out yourself? When you're still trying to get back on your feet and build something, I guess build your legacy back. How do you do that And really, I really just want to concentrate on me, God. I want to concentrate on me. But when you're not obedient, it doesn't work. So the relationship is good. As you see, he's asked to marry me, which is a good thing. So it's moving forward, progressing. Um, but now I'm just basically being a mother, watching my son about to graduate from college, watching him grow, watching Jamaria grow. She's now at Belmont University, full ride scholarship. Both of them had a full ride scholarship, so I think I did something right here. Um, but Elijah, unfortunately, he passed away. He was murdered in Kentucky, trying to help a friend, and losing a child was a spot in my heart that will never be filled. And it seemed like my life just stopped. Um, but I knew that it couldn't stop because I still had my two children and also my family that looked up to me, that looked at me for the strength, for their strength in the passing of Elijah. So I know I had to be strong. We buried him in February the 2nd. And things just started happening. The new 2020 started happening. The new norm started happening with COVID-19 and the panic and people losing their jobs, losing their minds, losing not knowing where to go. But in this pandemic, I continue to write. And I said, any means necessary, I'm going to publish my book that I have been writing for 7 years. I'm going to publish this book of quotes if it's the last thing I do for my 41st birthday, August 9th. And, you know, some days I feel like I can't move on. But there is a certain, I just want to share this with you, there's a certain little star that follows me every night. And I know that it's Elijah. And it gives me strength. It gives me hope and courage. And all I heard him say was, I'm okay. You continue to do what you need to do to make you happy. And I think that is what keeps me going. TJ and Jamaria is what keeps me going. This newfound relationship, which is different, but change is good. It's been a challenge, but that's keeping me going because I know that I'm supposed to be there for Anaya, which is my bonus daughter. So here I am with 366 makeup tips of a woman. And with this devotional and with everything that we've talked about today, I hope that it's gonna give you motivation to keep going. Keep going as a teenage mom, a single mom, a mom of 2 or 3 that did not know her way. From being a single mom to being married, having a family, to being divorced, to coming out of the divorce and try to figure out her again. And just trying to find yourself and finding love. And I hope that this book gives you the hope that it has given me. And yeah, that's 366 makeup tips of a woman with your girl, Nyke Latrice. One, you need to read the next book because this is just a book of quotes. This is not my story. So read the next book. I have some things in the works. Just look around and look for me. Motivational speaking, after school programs, um, different programs for women, just encouraging her. But it's going to be a good thing. The best is yet to come.
That you're special. You know that you know what you want, so you got to go get it. You need to be careful of their expectations and projections. Don't claim them, no. Follow your heart, follow your soul, follow the magnetic pull of your core. Cause you know what's right, that's why you're looking for more. So do what feels right and see what is in store for your life.